Morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Tuesday, July 14th, 2020. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES right now. We had a pretty strong top yesterday, a very strong top indeed. We came just shy here of getting that test at the 32.31 quarters, and then we turned right back down and dropped pretty hard the rest of the session. An intense finish to the day in the previous session. And when you have a session like this that has a strong turnaround after what was a very bullish breakout and continuation, it can tend to signal at least a near-term top. And again, the major portion of this trade is going to be the 3180 level. 3180 is the midpoint of the previous session, and that's right around where the breakout point was, 3181, 3180 in that zone. So if price pulls back to that zone this morning and can't get through it, that might be an opportunity for short-term bears to defend and see if a rotation back toward 3K can be seen, or perhaps a retest of the key range low at 29.22. Again, overall this market remains within this key range right here, and if we're not going to break out through the top right now, then perhaps we return back toward the 30.77.5 and the 29.22.75s. Overall, this market still remains very bullish, but we are coming into a period of time here where, seasonally speaking, we do tend to see some sort of pullback and a top in this time frame of the year. So we'll talk more about that in our August monthly market outlook in a couple of weeks. Over here again, if this market fails to get going to the upside today, there is a risk here of dropping and seeing at least a return back toward the previous month's close here. We have continued higher throughout, found a strong top. Perhaps we come right back to that point. Again, 30.77.5 could be in play at some point over the next 1 to 3 days if 3180 is not crossed and reestablished acceptance back above that zone. So keep that in mind. This could be a very strong top for a near-term pullback. And if we do get that swing, it could be a 1 to 5 day pullback. That's what we've seen here before. And overall, even if we do get a pullback here, it could still be a buying opportunity down the road. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ had an even more significant top and reversal yesterday. This one pushed and hit the 11K level. We also hit our 100% target, the 10.940s, which was from this key range here. So it went up here, hit the 50% extension, and then the 100 from that key range. I have now updated the key range here to include what could be this new key range if we were to hit 10.393. If we hit that point here, we have hit the midpoint of this recent impulse rally, and now we get ourselves a new key range to work off of. Now with the NQ here reaching 11K and getting such a tremendous rejection and closing back in the 10.500s, that's pretty significant. And so any pullback this morning, like we're seeing overnight here, again, could be a selling opportunity for a continuation into 10.393, or perhaps even lower into 10.2. So right now, we could be looking at a significant pullback here over a 1 to 5 day basis. Again, this market remains extremely bullish. The trend remains up, but there are times where you get that pivot top here and you'll see that pullback rotation. So right now, here's the channeling behavior that we've been following here, and to get a pretty strong top up here suggests that perhaps there could be a pullback again to this lower edge. 10.2 to 10.3 could be in play. And then do we see a continuation? Or do we finally see a break of that trend and perhaps more pullback? So right now, at the very least, yesterday's strong top could lead to a 1 to 3, 1 to 5 day pullback. And the key level to watch here today is if it can't get back above 10.8, things could get pretty ugly to the downside here, as we could see a pretty forceful down move over the next 1 to 3 days, something like this here, right? So again, we'll see how this plays out. Any pullback into the 10.7s, 10.8 could be an opportunity for short-term bears to defend for a push into 10.393, or perhaps even a bit lower. Okay, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil is down about 1% right now. This one here had a shot to really slingshot higher, but again, on the heels of the weakness here, of the ES and the NQ and the broader market here, this market was not able to really slingshot through those highs like we thought could happen based off of this low, at least not yet. And then yesterday's close below the midpoint starts to negate that idea. Today we are seeing a failed new low come into play right now. Pretty strong low overnight, and then a higher low in the pre-market trading led to a pretty good bounce here. But again, this market clearly right now having some trouble here getting going to the upside. It's been chopping around this previous month's close price here, which is 39.82, and it's chopped around there the entire month for the most part. So again, we're right at it at the moment, and if price can't get through it today, perhaps these lower highs start to open up more pullback into the 38 level, which is the previous month's midpoint. So again, had a good shot to explode to the upside here. We still may see that move, especially if this failed low continues to play out. But if we can't hold 39.50 here pretty soon, we may be looking at a pullback toward 38, 37, or maybe as deep as the previous month's low. So again, continuing to watch this here as it develops. All right, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. Now, gold has been very bullish. Again, all these markets have been strong. Typically, you would see a bit of anti-correlation here with gold in the broader markets, but everything's moving higher. You can see this trend is still intact. You can see price is still trading the 1800 level. This is a failed low that's developing today, which means it drops through those lows, takes out 1, 2, 3, 4-day lows, and now is popping back or attempting to pop back above the previous session's low. If that plays out the way it can, it could lead to a slingshot move higher, right? So again, over here you took out that low and boom. Over here you took out 4-day lows and boom. Over here you took out some lows and bang. So if this is developing right now, it's going to have to hold 1800 here, or the 1798s, which is that blue dot, and this may slingshot price higher into that 1831 and beyond. So again, got to keep an eye on the previous month's close here, previous session's low. If it can continue to hold that zone as it is right now, there could be a continuation to the upside. And it wouldn't surprise me if gold, if the broader market starts to head down today, it wouldn't surprise me if gold ends up with a bullish outside day to the upside, closing above 1820. So that's going to be something to watch out for. All right, that is it for now. Again, let me remind you here, tomorrow I will be part of the Traders exclusive webinar event. You can find that link to register for that event in the description below. Again, I will be the first speaker up at noon Central tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to having you there. All right, everyone, take care, trade well, and I'll see you in the trader room.